Okay, welcome back. So this is part 4 then. Just going to do a tiny bit more down here and then we can move to the next one. So I'm going in with a black, quite a nice sharp black. And what I want to do, I'm not using the slice tool as I thought I might be. I just want to come in between these lighter bits of hair, or fur, sorry, and just sort of darken it up and yeah, just put a bit more detail, just sort of coming in. If you're happy with yours, then just leave it, or by all means, if you want to use a slice tool, if you've got one, do that. But I'm just gonna just come in between and just sort of darken it up there. Just sort of brings this bit forward again. Doesn't really need to do much to it really. I think we're pretty much there. Coming down the edge a bit there. I mean, you can keep going and tinkering. And I'm going to work on the reverse side as well. I think that will be fine. I think that's looking okay. So yeah, we'll move on to the second ear. Actually, I'm going to turn my light off just quickly, so you can get a proper true sort of see how dark it is, if that makes sense, because the light can put a bit of a sheen on it. And but yeah, that's what it looks like in daylight. So we've darkened it up quite nicely. So yeah, I'll put the light back on again. Okay, bear with. There you go. And then we can start on this one. Right, so let's start over here then. So we've got a couple of little dark bits, like down the bottom here. We've got like a little kink here, a few darker bits. So I'm going to go in with the warm grey 6 just to get them in first, so we don't lose them. Now this one sort of goes up and around. Just want to get them in so we don't lose them. And I've got like a little shape coming down. Okay, and then they're just different changes of colour in the ear really. Okay, and then it goes all the way, like a little line going up. So I'll just gently put it in. You can refine it in a bit. And it sort of comes around. And I think, yeah, we'll leave it like that, and then have another bit here, and then we just block some colours in and start to fill it in. Right, so I'm going to go with the warm grey 2 first. Just sort of come over here where it's a bit warmer. So I'm just blocking in the colour. So we've got another little line here. And then it gets lighter up through that bit. So I'm just going to take the warm grey 2 up to that. might just put a bit of that up the top here. We've got like sort of rolls over. So we're looking at the back of the ear. Okay, I think that's it for the warm grey 2 for now then. So yeah, I'm going to go all up here with the cold grey 3. It's quite short fur again. I'm just looking at the direction of fur, so over here it's sort of leaning over this way. I'm thinking about putting the cold grey in as well over here. Okay. I've got the cold grey 3 and I want to put that over the warm grey 3 that we've just put in. Just put a cold grey in there as well. Take a few sort of strands off the edge as well. Right, so I've got the beige now, back with the Pablo, just to put a bit more warmth in this, just over the warm grey 2 that we put in. Just a bit deeper than the polychrome. Okay, and let's just put a bit of that up here as well. Okay, I'm just going to get the cold grey free and just do a bit more up the top there. If I can find my free. Oh, I've got the cold grey free. It was hiding in an extender, that's why I couldn't find it. So I just want to put a bit more up the top of the ear here. And then we'll start darkening it up. I'm just wondering whether to put a bit of the dark indigo up there, just to give it that blue sort of tinge there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Get the blue, dark indigo, and it will just help darken it all. Okay, I think that would be enough. Don't want to put too much up there. Don't think we need it anywhere else. No, that would be fine. So let's start darkening then. I might just put a bit more in the sort of details there. I can't remember if it's the cold grey 6 or the warm grey we used, but I'm going to use the warm grey 6 just because it's a bit darker in colour, or a bit deeper, sorry. So yeah, I've got the warm grey 6. I've got a bit of a, might put a bit of indigo in there actually. We've got that sort of warm grey coming through there as well. So I'm just going back with the beige, the Pablo. Okay, and then back with the warm grey 6. That was quite dark down here. So we've got this sort of little light frilly bit of fur here. So I'm just going to gently go into it, so I'm going under it. I've got a couple of long fur bits coming off. we get to these markers, I'm just going to put a bit more pressure on the pencil. I'll probably go over them with the black. So we've got coming over to this warm bit again. So we've got sort of longer fur coming up and over. So we can try and create that. It goes over and then around again. I think it's a vein. I might have to come back to that in a minute. Not quite got that in very well. We'll just carry on. And then coming back over to the left side. And then we've got this sort of darker bit coming down the middle, so let's just go over that again. Put a bit more pressure on. Not too much, just a little bit more. Okay, let's come back down again. So just remember to not keep going in the same direction with the fur. Right, so we've got, let's have a look here. So we've got some coming over this side, slightly longer. And then it's sort of longer up here again, but it's closer together. And back down this side, it's a bit shorter. I am going to go over the dark indigo as well. And we need to darken it all up still, but so take the grey over it there. And then I'm just going to come over that little beige bit as well. Tidy it up a little bit there. Okay, then we've got this little warm bit down here. I'm just going to gently take the grey over that as well, just a bit lighter. Right, so I've got the raw umber now, just to put up this end and try and refine this little area down here. So I'm just going to lightly put this on the edge. So we've got like a vein coming up here. So I just want to sort of put a bit on the edge, but I'm sort of curling it round. I don't want to do straight lines, I want to sort of curl it around. And then just sort of drag it down a bit. And then I'm going to put a light touch of that over this warm bit, just to give it a bit of warmth there. Just put a little bit through there. So just a small transition of colour makes all the difference. We've got another sort of little ridge here as well, actually, which we could put in. And then we've got this one here as well. So I'm going to do the same again. So I'll just curl it around. Okay, let's go and get another. Actually, I was going to go with the cocoa. Let's see how that goes. So I've got the cocoa here in the Pablo, just sort of another brown. I just need to deepen this ridge. And then it sort of comes around. Okay, and then the same with this one. I mean, it's very subtle. Okay, and then I might just grab the black and just see how that looks, see if that's enough. Where's my black? There you are. So I've got the black, especially in this little corner here where it's a bit darker. And then it runs down that side. Put a bit across here. Now I'm going to do the same over here. And I'm going to bring us a few small bits of black, down here as well. We've got to do this frilly bit down the bottom here in a minute, but we'll put all the colours in first. So these are little short stubby fur bits here. And then we've got this other little mark in here. Let's put that in again. Got a few longer fur bits coming off the edge. I'm just going to carry on with this black. I need to darken this side up. And then up here it starts to sort of change direction again. And then we've got like another little ridge here. So if we just sort of curl our pencil again, just gives that illusion that it's going around something. And we've got this dark marking coming in the middle as well. Let's put that back in. Okay, and it's a bit lighter coming down the side there, so I'm going to leave this little bit here just so it's a bit lighter. I've got another little dark marking up here. Just need to move my picture down. They're very long, aren't they, these ears? Okay, and then we just come up to the top. A lot smaller strokes now. Right, so while we've got the black, let's just darken up the tip of his ear here, coming over the dark indigo. Get that nice fluffy edge there. And just sort of bring it down into the ear again. I think it might be nice to bring in that sky blue. Was it sky blue we put in? Just sort of over the top like we did over here, and it just gives it that blue tinge. But I think we'll do that at the end. And we'll do over here, obviously. But yeah, that would be nice. Put a little bit more black in, and then we'll probably start working on the other side. Just coming down to here, just sort of darken it a bit more. So I'm just sort of darkening up these little markings here, the darker bits. Right, so I'm switching to the cold grey 6. So let's come over here then. So we've got this long sort of vein coming up here and then sort of going off. So we're gradually put that in then. So coming from the bottom, let's just do sort of a gentle line, but just do it in strokes over this way. So it's going over that way rather than just doing a line. It sort of goes behind that one then, and then it gets a lot lighter coming up. Okay, then it sort of just bends off over that side. And then we've got this one here. I'm going to use the cold grey 6 just to put it in so we don't lose it. It's a lot lighter on this side. Okay, and let's just continue this one up a bit more. And then we've got sort of another one there. Actually that one carries on up. Like a triangle. I think I've got that right. I think this needs to come over a bit more. I'm just going to take that little bit out. That's it. I just want to tidy that bit up because it's quite light at that end. Okay. So now we've mapped all those out. I think we'll start with the warm grey, the cold grey 2. I think the 1 would be too light. So let's go with the 2, cold grey 2. And just put this in. So I'm just sort of like colouring it in at the moment because this is just the base layer, and then we can add the details on top. So all around there it's dark, so we won't go over there. Do a bit in there. Okay, yeah, so we've got a bit of colour in there. I'm seeing maybe a bit of caput mortuum, maybe, just to give it a bit of colour. Let's switch the cold grey free, coming up here. Now I think that would be good up the top here. Okay, a bit down here in the light a bit. Okay, so I think it'd be good to start darkening some areas so we don't lose the little bits there. So let's go with a warm grey 6 again. And start darkening areas. So let's come back down to this bit. Okay, let's just gradually bring it up. Okay, and then let's just go over these sort of vein bits again. Okay, and then a bit confusing, but just take your time. I think that's right. I'll get my cold grey free again. Actually, I might go up to the 4, go up a bit. Yeah, the cold grey 4, and just come in between those. On the edge here. It does all needs to be darkened still. I'm just going to gently run that down. Do a few sort of strands off the edge there. Okay, now we've got to come back to these. So we've got like a light vein coming down. I might have to take a bit of colour out down there. I'm just going to get my rubber and just lighten Okay, coming back in with the cold grey 4. Okay, then put a bit of this down here and we'll switch colours again. Alright, so I just got the black. Let's just do a bit more darkening up. And I'll just bring a bit down, coming down here very lightly. Just darken this little bit up a bit more. I think a bit of dark indigo would be good actually as well. I'm going to get my dark indigo. I'll probably put a bit of sky blue in there as well at some point. So I've got the dark indigo. Let's put a bit up here. I'm going to bring that over here as well, just give it a blue tinge. got it. Let's put a bit more in here. Put a bit down this edge as well, just give it that cold grey effect down the side there. I don't want to go too far down there because I think I'm going to add a bit of a dark red in there as well, like the, as I say, the caput mortuum. I'm going to get the black again and let's just darken again. So it's definitely better on film to just gradually build up the colours rather than just sort of putting a load of pressure on. It's a lot more natural looking, just building it up slowly. I'm pretty much using very light pressure throughout. Just putting a bit more darker strokes in, just sort of filling it in a bit more now. Okay, need to put something a bit more in there. Let's go back to the cold grey 2, maybe another layer. We'll just give it that extra cold grey 2 here. A bit in there as well. I've got the dark indigo. Just want to put a bit more in here, just refine this bit here, just where it sort of goes over the vein there, just very lightly. It's got like a little blue tinge there, and then it gets quite light, but you can barely see that it's blue. It just gives that contrast. I'm going to put a bit in it over here as well. Okay, Let's put some up here again, just in the light a bit. I've just got the cold grey 4 back, and I'm just coming down this vein here. I just want to add a bit of a cold grey and just sort of curl it round a bit more, just to give that sort of raised effect. And bring it down into this bit as well, actually. So I think it's raised that quite well. Let's just bring, so I've got this light bit down here, so I'm just going to tidy up this edge. Okay. Now I did say that a bit of caput mortuum down there. I think that would be a nice touch down the side there. Just sort of a bit of a warm brown. So I've got the caput mortuum. Okay, let's go to the warm grey 6. So we've got like little breaks in the fur coming down here, so I'm just going to replicate that. You can just about see the caput mortuum off the edge there, just a little hint of red. That's what I want to do now then. I've got the sky blue, and I just want to put a very light cover over this side. You can barely see it, but it will just give that cold grey hue there. Just very lightly. You probably can't really see it, but yeah, it's just a very light layer. You can put it in there as well. bit more over there actually. That's better. And then we just need to darken it all up a little bit more. Actually, while I think about it, let's do that bit as well. And I think the best way to deal with that would be to get the little rubber and just take a bit out. I'm just giving it a clean. So I've just got a little tombow there. So this little frilly bit here, let's just sort of put that back in. And just a bit more. I'm just going to go over it with the warm grey too. Okay, what we could do is just get one of the greys. It doesn't really matter which one. I've got the warm grey 4 here, that would be okay. Just so we can sort of go in between. Sort of soften it off a little bit there. That's it. And then we did put a bit of the warmer 5 up here. I'm just going to put a little bit more in, just a hint of it there. Like a pinky bit coming through. I'll put a bit in there actually, looking at the picture. So I've just gone back to the cold grey 6. So it's looking a bit flat down here. So we need to sort of build it up coming down here and sort of coming over this way. You know, because it's sort of like a rounded bit there. So I'm just going to darken it with the cold grey 3. I think this is going to be okay. We don't want it too dark, but we want to sort of get the contrast of the lighter bit there. So I'm just going to sort of curl my pencil round. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we need to sort of get that ridge in. I might have to lighten it a bit down there. I'm just going to lighten it there with the Tombow quickly. Just give my rubber a little clean. So yeah, we just need to sort of lighten it a bit, and that I think will help. think we do still need to darken it further. Okay, so I think I'll go back to the warm grey 6 this time and just build up that left side. You've got to sort of do it gradually, really. So let's just darken it in places there. I'm just going to gradually come over that light bit there. I'm just doing a bit more black. I think we're getting there. Just something we have to sort of gradually do, really. Not something that we can rush. I'm just going to darken it up here a little bit more as well. I'm just gradually building it up. I think it's sort of coming together now. I'm just going over these markings as well, so we don't lose them. I just want to add a tiny little bit more of the cold grey 6, just sort of put a bit more in down the bottom, and then I think that'll be pretty much it. The only thing I want to do actually before we do move on is I might just put a bit of the, I think it may be raw umber, but that might be a bit too much. I might go with a burnt ochre, just to put a tiny bit of a sort of browny orange in there. That's the burnt ochre. I'm going to leave that now then, because I say we can work on the reverse side if you're working on the same surface as me. I do want to darken up on the top of the head a little bit more as well, and then that'll be it, other than working on the reverse side. So I'm just going to grab my black. So up here I think we've got another little bit here. We've kind of joined them together there, so I might just add a bit more detail. Let's darken up here again. Just making a few adjustments and just refining. If yours is fine, you don't want to touch it, then don't. Okay, I think that'll be okay for now. Obviously we've got, I know you're not on the screen, but I've got to do the rest of his face yet. Yeah, we're pretty much there with this area. I think it's looking good, and yeah, I think we'll start moving down his face next.